You were there just after the miracle.
Just after the miracle.
Yeah.
God's finger came down in British Columbia and touched his eyeball, and then the guy could see. But I was like, oh,
It's like you get there after Jesus finished the wine, and you're like, hey, what's everybody drunk? Fucking turn the water, and Sean, you're fucking 25 minutes late. Hey, Sean.
Yes, Ray.
I know we usually start with a question, but I have a statement.
Let's hear it.
I figured out how to live life.
Okay. I've been trying to figure that out for a while.
I figured out how human beings have to live life, and I was talking about it with my brother. As you know, my grandfather recently took a dirt nap, and not a dirt nap.
Wow.
We burned him up.
Too soon, Ray.
But that upset you?
Yeah, it's not even my grandpa.
I know.
It happened like last week.
2 weeks ago.
Oh, it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, time
I'm
flies,
over
huh?
it, dude.
Time flies.
No, it's not that I'm over it, but like I learned something from him.
I was going to say time flies, especially for your grandpa.
He lived to be 87.
Right, it went pretty fast.
And he lived a very stress-free life.
That's what you want.
Did a lot of laying around in a swimming pool. Did a lot of just making money off the books. A lot of gambling. A lot of partying. A lot of just relaxing.
Yeah, so that's the key to life.
I think the key to life isn't necessarily to just be a straight-up bum, because that sounds like a shit life. But the key to life is try your hardest not to make a ton of money, not to be the most powerful person in the world, but everything that you're doing should be to eliminate stress.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, that's why most people, like for us, once we got to the point where we're chasing our dream with stand-up and being in the comedy world, and, we kind of complain about the business and, how things have changed, and you kind of, but at the end of the day, it's like, I'm glad I don't have, the payoff is actually that you have a job that does make people happier. It sounds corny, but I've had enough people, you've had people say things that you're like, wow, I never thought of it that way. Like, oh, you made my day, or you did this, or whatever. I think the flip side of that, when people do the job that makes them stress, like say you're an investment banker and you're 21 and you're working 17 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's a means to an end as well, because by the time they're 45, which is what your friend is, they're like, there we go. Now it's time to live a absolutely wonderful life.
But it's not. And those people don't do that.
You don't think they do?
I don't think they do.
They're going to be stressed no matter what.
I think they're stressed no matter what. I think when you're in your mind, your thought is, I want to make enough money to not be stressed. I want to make so much money that I don't have a care in the world. And I don't think that works that way.
I think it's never enough.
I think it's never enough to those people. I think the idea is, what can I do to make money that leaves me with the least amount of stress, the most amount of free time, and what's the most fun?
We're kind of, besides all the bitching about, the shit talking and the bitching about the business, I'm kind of in, I have my moments where I'm like, I'm kind of in that. You kind of cheated life in a way.
Me too.
As long as you're able to pay your rent, you're able to do stuff. It's like, you're like, hey, you work 15, 20 minutes a night, or, an hour a night, whatever it is. So you're kind of in that. But I do think there's another path to what you're saying, like almost like what your grandpa was. It was like, I stayed local. I'm in my pool. I did my job. I'm hanging out with my friends. That is the dream after a certain point. Like,
that's what I'm saying, and I know that
like
that's
a 10-minute commute from your house. That's like a dream come true.
This sounds really stupid. Money can buy happiness to an extent. Anybody that says money can't buy happiness, having a lot of money can make you happier.
There's been multiple clips of people online talking about how maybe it doesn't buy you happiness, but it takes a part of worry out of your life. So that's
for sure
the literal definition of buying happiness.
But
because the less worry you have, the more happy you are, as a whole, mean average.
But as much as our society forces it to be the end-all, be-all, it's really not.
No, it's not,
really
and that's been proven as well.
And that's easy for my broke ass to say, but
you have all these guys that chase this down and they die. A bunch of cash, but totally lonely and alienated from their family and their friends because they're just a giant piece of shit. And you hear those stories about the Rothschilds, where there was like a Rothschild curse, where all the members of the family a lot of them had this paranoia. They thought they were going to die penniless if they didn't.
The wrestling family?
No, they were like in the Ford time and the beginning of the country. Like they own like half the country. It's like
Who
one of
am
these
I
like
thinking of?
Illuminati types.
Who am I thinking of?
The wrestling.
The Von
thing?
Erichs.
Oh.
The Von
Did you
Erich
think they were
brothers.
on par with like the Rothschilds and the
No, I didn't.
Carnegies and the
no. That's.
the Von Erich Trumps?
Are you attacking me?
No, I'm talking about like turn of the century, like millionaire to billionaire, like would have been multi trillionaires if they were of this time. That's how much
Generational
money they
wealth.
had. Generational wealth, but also like off the backs of our great grandfathers.
So
So like off the backs of working people, but we're smart enough to know the play back then, which is much harder than now, I would say.
generational wealth can buy happiness, but pick yourself up by your bootstraps wealth, not as much.
No, yeah.
Like a self-made millionaire or self-made billionaire, which is pretty rare, but a self-made millionaire, that person, that man or woman or non-binary person, that self-made millionaire is working their ass to the fucking bone.
Yes,
And
they
they're
are.
not enjoying the fruits of their labor, as
Well,
you would say.
put it this way, but what ends up happening with those families, generational wealth, yeah, for the patriarch or the matriarch, whatever is going on there. But let's be honest, probably
patriarch.
like a succession type family.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Those kids have a vapidness in them that cannot exist in any member of yours or my family. There's an empathy that happens for the human condition that they don't have because of the level of complete decadence and complete just carte blanche you grew up with. This thing where at any given time, whatever any one of your wishes is met. That's why it's such a great ending of that show when, well, spoiler alert, they're like, we're all bullshit, because that's what they are. Their whole existence is bullshit. They're not actual people. They're just an extension of their father's wealth.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, because when you see somebody that is that generationally wealthy, and those people that you're saying made money off the backs of our grandfathers and our great grandfathers, those people see other people as their pawns or their laborers, whereas everything we've had to accomplish in our lives has been done for the most part by building relationships with people.
Yeah, and having some an opinion and feelings and empathy for the human condition, and so what's ended up happening is what generational wealth can do. The ones who don't buck it, the ones who don't try to kind of get out of the way of, or try to get out of the way of the machine that is their family, is it kind of makes you a sociopath. Like an environmental sociopath, like a homegrown sociopath, because you don't have enough contact with the human condition to really actually give a shit. Because people are just kind of ones and zeros to you.
So what are you gonna do to make your life less stressful starting now?
Me?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I quit comedy would help me. Even after all this talking, it's like I've had such a fucking bad time the past few months with comedy business that if I was to quit, I thought about this today. I was like, if I was to quit tomorrow, I don't know if I'd be completely happy, but it'd be an interesting turn of events. And I don't think it'd be ever a quitting thing. I think it would just be a thing where resigning myself. Like I always wondered, like if I just started bartending 4 nights a week somewhere,
Yeah.
and did spots when I can, I'd probably be a happier person.
You think so?
Yeah, because I get in my head about it. Because the way that my life goes with this thing, I'm like, a lot of it's blaming myself, blaming the business, blaming whatever else, whatever weird mysticism in the universe, whatever is not going my way. A lot of it's your own fault. You can manifest things for yourself. But when I'm realizing, and I've said this before, I think I've changed a lot with my opinion about comedy and about show business. I think a lot of it's really corny, dude, and I'm including myself. Like a lot of it, I'm like, I don't watch stand-up clips the same way anymore. I don't have the same respect that I had for it. I think it's to the point now where I'm like, I'd be more interested in doing like a fun show that's not involved in stand-up. What's always really been the case, and I'm not saying I'm going to become some movie director. I'm a bigger movie person than I am a stand-up person, a stand-up comedy person. I'm a diehard stand-up fan, but not the way it is now, and it's kind of this bastardized version of what. I think I have respect for oh my, like, real organic stand up, but that's about it.
So
But I have to come to grips with the fact that I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where I'm the type of stand up that I respect. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's pretty deep.
It's pretty deep, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you should quit.
You're not wrong.
Let's open a bar. Let's quit and open that bar that you were going to open when you became a cop.
Yeah, I would do that in a freaking second. Even though that job apparently is
maybe
even more hours than anything else.
Maybe you could take a page out of my book. Here's what I am starting to do. What I'm going to start doing to relieve stress is I'm going to take more breaks of value in my life. And I'm talking about even short breaks of value. You know what that means? I'm also writing a self-help book, it feels like. But no, it's like, I feel like...
Is it called Ray Every Day? Or is it called Dare to be Ray Every Day?
Terrible idea. Note to self. Ray Every Day. No, but what I think I want to do is like I take breaks, like as far as like I'll take it like a couple days off, or like, but I want to take days off where I'm doing something or I have things outside of stand-up and things outside of work. I don't have a lot of that.
I'm the same way.
That's not boozing.
I'm the same way.
Or watching things.
Right, same here.
Yeah.
We're very similar.
Yeah, we are very similar. But I need something, like even if it's just like, hey, you know what? Once a month, I take a fucking day where I leave my phone in my apartment and I just go to the park and chill at the park all day and fucking read. Or I take a day to go actually do something in the city that I've lived in for 4 years, which is the greatest city on earth, apparently, New York City, and actually experience New York City. Go to a fucking museum.
And you kind of nailed it with one line in there. What do you think's been hindering, for both of us, what do you think hinders that? What do you think really is the reason that you probably haven't jumped into those activities? There's one little thing you said. You said, besides comedy, I do comedy all the time. There's one activity we do that might, and this is the correct word here, might retard the progress of doing those.
Oh, drinking makes us retarded. Is that what you mean? Yeah, I mean, it really does. Like,
yeah. That's another thing I've thought about recently is the whole sober question. But that's another thing where I've seen enough stuff online. Even if I got sober, I wouldn't be the I'm sober person. I wouldn't be that. I feel like, and I think it runs the gamut. I think you have people who are like, that's their whole identity, and then you have people who are just silently just, hey, I just don't drink anymore. And
that would be me. I'd almost be embarrassed to tell people I'd be like, nah, I can't actually. I can't drink with this medication I'm on.
It's just you be sober but a liar.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Ray was much cooler when he was drinking. He didn't pathologically lie about everything.
Just lying.
Now he had a yacht and a motorcycle on the yacht, and he said he's been a spy for 13 years.
He won't admit that he quit drinking 3 years ago.
But all he'll talk about is shit that doesn't make any sense. He said his granddad was Frederick Douglass. That makes the timing doesn't even work up.
And he's black.
But can I make my statement now that I want your input on?
Yeah.
Okay, as I shoulder check you.
I know, dude.
All right, elbowed you. So
I'm a pacifist.
Can we? I just spent a very nice weekend in British Columbia, but can we get rid of this idea that Canadians are nice?
Shit.
We had a lot of great. I don't even know if, to be honest, I don't even think they like that stereotype.
It makes them feel like pussies.
Yeah, exactly. Because I will be honest, one thing I saw makes me realize it's very similar. I was in Westminster. Great shows, great people, really cool audience members. Really had a lot of fun, had a blast, and beautiful part of that country.
Yeah.
Like insane. And they have so much more room than we do. So they're just like, they just stretch themselves out. But it's very, like, there's a lot of high rises in Westminster. And where I stayed was the 29th floor of this building. Like, and the views were like incredible. It was like insane, nice. Right? So that was all well and good. But you see the same, first off, they have way more white homeless people there in Westminster. There was 3 homeless girls I saw, and I'm like, you look like you're just going backpacking through Europe tomorrow, and you picked up the gear.
Have dreadlocks?
They had like dreadlocks.
They always do.
I didn't know they were homeless until I got real close. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's like a pig pen layer of dust around you. This is a peanut situation.
and did you ever notice the dreadlock homeless always have pets with them?
Yes, they do. Those poor pets, dogs, mostly dogs, and their pit bulls. Why they don't turn around and just eat them for food, I never understand. Anyway, I saw this thing there that you could see on the streets of Manhattan, and I was like, yeah, you guys want to pretend you're I don't think it's them that even pretends this, but a lot of people were very nice. But I'm saying, but some aren't. And one guy I saw, and I don't know what his story was because I didn't stick around to find out. He had one of those like blind person sticks, like where they feel around, those long ones. But he wasn't using it. He had it underneath his arm like a riding crop, and like holding with his elbow holding it, right. And then he was on a cell phone, I believe a flip phone, talking to somebody. And I walked by him, and he made full on eye contact with me. And I was like, all right, one of two things is happening here. Either this guy is crazy and he's or he's a scammer on his lunch break.
Okay.
Or he was given the gift of sight and he's calling everybody to tell them that he can see.
And you were there just after the miracle.
Just after the miracle.
Yeah.
God's finger came down in British Columbia and touched his eyeball, and then the guy could see. But I was like,
it's like you get there after Jesus finished the wine, and you're like, hey, what's everybody drunk? Fucking turn the water. Sean, you're fucking 25 minutes late.
Where'd all this fish and these loaves of bread come from? So my thing was like, yeah, you guys got a dark. That city had. It was everybody was very sweet. Don't get me wrong. I'm kidding about that. But they have a dark side. Like it's definitely a city, and it had like I was walking around there, and my city brain went into action. You weren't in Shangri-La or anything like that.
Do you think that they're any percentage nicer than Americans?
Yeah. Here's the thing. They're nicer, but I was trying to think of a thing for this on stage. It's like America if it was damp. Like it was. Does that make sense? Like it's like there's something off. You know what it is? It really is the infusion of it's the black influence and like, but they have a lot of it's diverse, but it's just not enough black people. I think that's what it is.
Really?
You need because that's why our pop culture is so fantastic because from as early as rock and roll you had the R&B influence, right? So like they don't that's the thing that's off with Canada. It's like you just missed the mark. Like it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's its own thing. And also, to be honest,
they're Ned Flanders.
They're not even Ned Flanders. They're just like it's like if you weren't given. It's like it's like the whole country is a white dude dancing at a wedding. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. Like you might have some edge to you, but it ain't that much. Like you're not Ned Flanders. It's not Oakley Dokley, but it's the more boring part of that. But don't get me wrong. It's like everybody. They're very cool people, but it's one of these things where it's like, oh, for some reason it's like it's about 30 to 40% more interesting if that blind guy thing happened in New York, he would have done something a little bit more entertaining than what he was doing there. You know what I'm saying? It's like that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm kidding, but I'm not. It's like one of these things where it's like they're just a little. But also what made me realize is like, yeah, it's a different country. It's like that's the thing. It's like the influences for Canada. Because it's so similar to America and so close, we think it's like, that's America Light, it's this, it's nice America, all that.
Yeah.
No, it's not. They have a bunch of influences from all these other different places. Like, in Newfoundland, there's like a bunch of, like, a huge Irish influence, and there's tons of diversity. I think there's a huge Filipino population in British Columbia. So it's like, it's a different country.
Zawodni? Never been to Canada.
You should go. You should go. It's really nice.
I'm not allowed there for like another year.
And why is that?
Some fucking bullshit.
You mooned the prime minister like you're Bart Simpson in an episode of this.
No, I mean, I bet I could go there, but apparently you're not allowed into Canada if you have a DUI on your record.
That they very strict about stuff.
Very strict about stuff like that.
There's a Patrice O'Neill story about that. He was supposed to go to the Montreal Comedy Festival, and he got stopped at the border because of something he was involved with that got dropped.
Because of a DUI.
I don't think it was a DUI. I think it was like something when he was a kid, and he was like, "Are you kidding me? This was 25 years ago." Yeah. So yeah, they're really, really strict about that stuff. So it's like, but they're I guarantee you, there's a ton of crime that goes on. It's like I guess they're like, hey, we already have enough criminals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. They're very really, really kind. Everybody in British Columbia is really kind, really nice. But I'm saying as a whole, what you're watching is it's just like a little bit like they realize that almost like they agreed, like, yeah, it's we're not gonna blow your socks off.
So you could tell it's definitely not America at all times.
It's also a thing where it's like it doesn't feel like home to me. Like I went to I had actually a pretty. Let me tell you what happened.
Yeah.
I was there. And on the way back, well, you know me, I'm starting to embrace me being an on-time guy. I don't want to apologize anymore for it. I'm an early and an on-time guy, and I get a lot of shit for it. I get made fun of for it. But you know what? It's because it's called being respectful. Okay. And so one of my biggest things is I've only missed a couple planes in my life, and I missed my connection from Minneapolis back to New York because Delta messed up, and they were 2 hours late. We were on the plane for 2 hours waiting.
Oh, fuck Delta.
Right, but not really, because I've missed other flights, and they're just like, go fuck yourself. Delta gives you a code right away. Well, they lied. They said there would be a person outside the gate that could help you out. They weren't. You have to go to a phone. So I was waiting on the phone for 20 minutes for somebody. Waited, got a new flight booked for the next day. It actually got me to LaGuardia instead of Newark, so it kind of worked out
even better.
Way better. And then on top of that, went to the desk for a hotel room code.
Discount.
No, whole room.
No shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They gave me a discount one time and fucked me. Not Delta, but
that's what I mean. Delta's probably the best one because gives me the code. I call the hotel. They go, "What's the code?" The woman's so helpful at the 4 Points in Minneapolis. She goes, "All right, I'll have it ready for you when you show up."
What was the code? Like Rooster.
It was like 8CHYXZ or one of those kind of things, right? No, it wasn't like a cool code. Yeah. They're never cool codes. It wasn't like Renegade. How much more fun would you have typing in
Millennium Aztec 5?
So anyway, they give me the code. I go through. I do the thing. But what I was trying to say is the crazy part, and you're going to be shocked by this, Mike. The next day, I flew to Detroit and then to LaGuardia. It was 6:30 in the morning. I got back at noon. Right? It was a lot. But I tried to have that's another thing. I tried to be like not an asshole about it. I was trying to be like, let me stay positive.
Yeah.
They apologized by email. We're on the plane. I'm sitting next to some old dude. The stewardess comes over and goes to him. She goes, "Oh, I heard you had a misconnection." She goes, "We're really, really sorry about that. We apologize. Let me do this. Let me get you some miles." Shoots him some miles on his app, on his Sky Miles thing. Then goes to me. "You're the same, right? You missed your connection? What happened?" And I told her the story. She goes, "We're really, like, honestly, we're so sorry about that. I'll shoot you some miles. Thank you guys for being so..." And I was like, what? I've never... Now, granted, in all fairness, I rarely had a lot of issues with Delta. I've had delays. I've had a little bit here and there, but never like that where you're on the plane for 8 hours.
What would you have done if she did that thing with the old dude and then she was like, "So you had a similar situation?" She goes, "Wow, we're really sorry." And just turned around and walked away. She's like, "Wow, we're really sorry."
I'd be like,
and
"You
like,
told me that..."
Yeah, we just don't have any more miles to get.
Can I have part of his miles?
You ran out of miles, and then you stood up and snapped and went, "He's not even a real person. Look at his eyes.
That mother effer right there is not real." Oh, this
we got something pretty cool.
This became a rave real quick. The light in my apartment is that'll probably show up on the
Well,
the
Sean,
video.
that's perfect for a transition into one of our favorite segments.
It's
And
breaking the internet.
And not just one of our favorite segments. Here, this is the absolute truth. I was just in Pittsburgh. I went to tailgate for the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Went to 2 different tailgates, and multiple people came up to me and said how funny that they think the quick jerk is.
Wait, people that you didn't know?
2 people that I knew, and then like 2 people that were like friends of friends that don't know me well.
Really?
I think that's pretty cool.
That's pretty great.
I'll take it.
I've had friends of mine text me and contact me and say how much they like the podcast, how they say it's really funny, and how much they like the videos. And they mention the quick jerk.
So if you're listening and you're hearing us say this, fucking share the podcast.
Do you want to do a quick jerk? Should that be the grand finale of the show?
Let's do the...
Or
we can't tease people with the quick jerk. And
okay,
then
all right,
take it away.
let's do it.
All right. I have a couple of questions here. As you know, the quick jerk, it is rapid fire questions. It's where we...
It's one bite. You know the rules. Oh, no, that's something else.
No, that's
the pizza guy.
Yes, from that.
I like that guy.
I do. I really like.
I like him a lot.
Big fan.
There's a couple different reasons I like him. Yeah.
Okay, this is the quick jerk. This is where I ask rapid fire questions to Sean Donnelly, and he has to answer as quickly and as honestly as he possibly can. Sometimes he doesn't, but we try to keep him on track as much as we possibly can. Sean, are you ready for the quick jerk?
I am.
Okay. Go. Sean.
Me go or you go?
We're going.
Go. All right. You told me to go.
Who do you think you are?
I'm Sean Donnelly.
Boobs or butts?
Both.
Beavis or Butthead?
Beavis or Butthead?
Yes.
Beavis.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Iron Man.
Who's my celebrity crush?
You're Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20.
rude.
Why is that rude? Homophobic?
You said a
much?
man. Okay, how many beers could you drink?
Hold on. How much do you love Rob Thomas?
Not as
Tell
much
everybody.
anymore because he doesn't fucking respond to my Instagram. He's not a celebrity crush. I just enjoy his music. We're gonna talk celebrity crushes. I'm more of a Bradley Cooper. I'm more of a, doesn't matter. Anyways, okay. How many beers could you drink in 2 hours?
Like realistically, real answer?
Yeah.
25 beers.
Pussy. All right.
How many beers could you drink? You're also a
100.
foot taller than I am.
Okay. Ballpark. How many times have you done a quick jerk?
How many? This is the seventh
In the
one,
shower.
I think. This is the seventh time I'm doing it under the table.
You jerk on. Okay. What's your favorite state?
Ooh, that's a good question. My favorite state is New York State. You gotta come on, hometown boy. Come on, man.
What's the funniest word?
That's my Joe Biden
That's
impression.
a good Joe Biden.
Come on, man.
Hey man, come on, man. Okay, what's the funniest word for penis?
Funniest word for penis is scavul. What's it called again? The Italian one?
I don't fucking. I'm not.
Struts,
I'm only 1.9% Italian.
Cheval. Actually no. I don't like the Italian ones because I'm not a big Italian person fan. How about pecker? Pecker's pretty funny.
Pecker is very funny. I wasn't even thinking pecker.
Also, pecker. They don't use it as much anymore. It was like a 1960s. Like Poindexter and Pecker was kind of Peckerwood.
I like pecker. I might bring back pecker.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it my pecker going forward.
Finish these sentences. Life is
but a dream.
Show me
The money.
My neck, my back,
my ass crack, my something and my crack.
Okay. Who's a better actor, Michael Keaton or Stephen Baldwin?
Michael Keaton.
Where's Michael Keaton from?
Batman and a bunch of movies.
What city is Michael Keaton from?
I don't recall.
Pittsburgh is the correct name. What city is
Stephen Baldwin?
What city is Stephen Baldwin from?
He's from Long Island.
Okay.
He's from Massapequa. He's got like 15 brothers, and I think he might be. Is he like a QAnon guy at this point? Man, I that was a real Kaiser Soze situation. That's the end of the. Stop trying to make me defile my hometown, my home island.
So Michael Keaton again from Pittsburgh, Stephen Baldwin from Long Island. You're from Long Island. I'm from Pittsburgh. But
here's the thing.
You're Baldwin. Okay.
How about this? Michael Keaton or Alec Baldwin?
Michael Keaton. What's the perfect crime?
I still lost. I thought that would do it. How about this?
Last question. What's the perfect crime?
The perfect crime is...
Speaking of Alec Baldwin.
Speaking of... Imagine if that's what it was. Imagine if we had a beef with the gun person.
Yeah.
Can you also... do you think anybody was surprised? Like we've all seen Alec Baldwin. You have to be surprised that he was like fucking around with a gun.
Yeah.
I think that's isn't that like the subtext that you know that he was like doing a bit with the gun?
Yes.
And then he killed somebody and they became real somber. But is anybody surprised that he did it? Like by accident?
You heard it here first.
Is anybody surprised that he was just probably doing the Trump impression? He's like, I love guns. That's all. We gotta protect the guns. Like, and everybody's like, oh, Jesus, Baldwin's doing the Trump voice again on the set.
No,
they're like, we don't care. Just get the lines done. I'm going to go home. I've been on sets where it's like, a lot of time the crew is like, hey, man, can I not be here for 20 hours? So imagine being on set with an Alec Baldwin.
I love that we can't get through a quick jerk without you fucking bringing up you being on set. What's the perfect crime? Last question.
The perfect crime is robbing somebody 40 seconds before they die.
Okay.
So because then nobody will know. I don't know. I can't think of an actual good perfect crime. I was going to say that the perfect crime is killing somebody and making it look like a suicide.
That's pretty good.
I was thinking of the ice cube thing where somebody steps on the ice cube and it melts and they're just hanging and they're like, how did they get there?
Oh, the ice cube. Ice cube melted.
Yeah.
So, Sean, this is one of your worst quick jerk performances. You got most of the questions wrong. Favorite superhero? It's Superman.
It's not. That's not my favorite superhero. Also, guess what? There's one Iron Man. That should matter for something.
How many beers could you drink in 2 hours? You said 20? 25? Prove it. And then...
I don't drink beer anymore. I worry about my figure.
Funniest word for penis? Pecker's good. I think wiener's better.
Wiener's so overused, though, and it's still used. Pecker, I'm bringing something back. I'm bringing Pecker back.
Yep. My neck, my back, lick my pussy, and my crack.
Right. Who was that again? That was
Neil Diamond. And then the perfect crime is when you stab somebody with an icicle.
Well, you just thought of that now because I said the Ice Cube thing. You know that's true. Did you have that down there? Let me see if it's written down there. Perfect crime. Where is it? Who's a better actor? It's not even on there. There's no. Where is
What's
it?
the perfect crime?
Oh, but yeah. So you just made up that answer because I gave you the idea with the Ice Cube.
I don't put the answers down on the quick jerk. I know them in my head. I remember. Why would I put the answer key in my phone where you could just steal it and dig through it?
I'm going to enlist Anonymous to get the answers to 6 questions.
Yeah, no thanks.
Anonymous, I need help hacking Ray Zawodni's phone.
No thanks.
Be honest though, did you think about it after I said the Ice Cube thing?
I've always thought that was the perfect. So I saw it was like on a quiz or something.
So you think
when I
we
was a
both
kid.
had ice-minded things in our brains, just by chance? We've been hanging out that much.
Whatever.
Is that what
dude.
you're saying?
Whatever, dude. You're basically a bold one at this point. You're acting like a real bold one.
You know what?
What? I mean, you're the only one that can think of ice stuff. You're the Iceman.
I just find it.
You are Iceman. I'm Maverick.
Coincidental that was the real answer to that question. I was so close. I was on the ice track with it. I was on the track to get it right.
Well, we did technically figure out the real perfect crime.
Which is what?
It's Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, it's it's kind of crazy. To be honest, I feel bad saying that because did you ever see the video?
There's a guy that died. It's kind of sad.
There was a girl that died.
Girl that died.
And they filmed him after he did it. Did you see that? He's like weeping. So I take back what I said about it.
I'm gonna cut this.
I can't. But here's the thing. I do feel bad. No offense, but there's no way he wasn't like trying to be on when he shot the gun.
Oh, he's always on. Yeah.
Like I don't think it was the thing where he's like, let me test it out, and then like, he just happened to point it towards the gun person.
I love the idea of him doing the Trump impression.
He was like, what is this? Yeah. I'm the best at guns.
He was
watch.
He was doing fucking the cabin or what? Not the fucking the. Oh my god! What was the sketch he did with Adam Sandler when he was being the pervy scout leader?
The scout leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? You're gonna say Cabin Boy?
I was say Cabin Boy, but that's Chris Elliott.
Oh, that also didn't they stopped airing it? Did they stop airing it?
I think so because it was basically because the Boy Scouts were fucking molesting people.
They really fucking. It's really funny. It's just Adam Sandler getting molested by Alec Baldwin, and he's like, "Uh-oh." He's just react, and he's like mentally handicapped in this sketch.
He didn't have voice. Yes. Canteen Boy. It was Canteen Boy.
Yeah. Or
Would you like something from my canteen? And yes, he's like, "Come here, rub my chest." And Adam Sandler's like rubbing his chest, and turns out the Boy Scouts of America.
They frown upon
the path
pedophile
of
sketches.
least resistance.
The Boy Scout lobby has got it shut down. Got repeat airings shut down. We should do a thing on the podcast about that. Things they won't air anymore. Like they don't do.
Oh, I love that.
The Puerto Rican Day Parade, Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
We should try to make a list and come back with it.
I love that.
Okay, let's do it. Can I have something for you. I actually can open up a good conversation.
Yeah, is this a dude you like this?
Yes, but I'm not sure if you will.
Ooh.
But it's interesting where you
Okay.
might. And I saw it right before you came over, and I was like, this is perfect to talk about.
Go for it.
Because I've been kind of wanting to talk about this stuff for a bit.
Is it alien stuff?
No, I would have already talked about that. Here we go. Hold on a second. Let me get I know it's right here.
I just saw a picture of your pecker.
You ready?
Dolphin farts.
And a different kind of fan, for sure, was spotted in the stands at SoFi for Sunday's matchup between the LA Chargers and the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, their presence was freaking out some people there. They were really buzzing about it on social media. Take a look at this. Imagine getting to your seat and then realizing you are seated next to an AI robot. In true LA fashion.
Stop it.
I don't know if it's real. I can't tell if it's actors doing that to bring attention to AI or if it's real.
Stop
This
it.
made my stomach drop, dude. That video.
music made me scared.
They
Why
do that
did
on
it say
TikTok.
whale farts
What?
or
The-
dolphin farts.
It should say whale farts because it is probably partially dolphin sounds.
That was frightening. See, I don't
Now
like this AI stuff.
I can't. It's probably a fake video. It's probably like I think it was in the stands, but I think that it's probably makeup, and I would guess they look too real. I know they have that, but to put it in the stands of a football game is so terrifying.
You know what I saw the other day? This kind of
Let me ask you a quick
skeeved
question.
me out.
Do you think it's real? That video?
No.
Okay.
I mean, no. I don't want to. I mean,
The motions were so natural. I'm like, oh, this is insane.
I haven't looked much into AI. I'm always really behind technology, but with this now I'm behind because I don't really like. It's taking away creativity. It's ripping creativity out of the hands of human beings to the point where like I don't know how they're gonna monitor this in like schools when you have to write papers. Apparently, like I know people that have said that they've like had cover letters written for jobs by AI.
Now, I think what's going to happen is this: the same way they're going to have the teachers are going to type in the topic into ChatGPT, which they probably already do, and if a similar paper comes up, because kids, especially on the kids front, you can detect it. If kids are doing it, they're probably just typing in, "Write me a paper on Lewis and Clark," and then whatever comes up, it's what ChatGPT knows, right?
Okay.
If you type the same thing or something similar, at least 90% of that info will be the same and written the same way. Also, teachers know the intelligence of their students. So if you're a dope, kind of like I wasn't the best student in the world, but I wasn't. But I'm like, if I handed in some paper that was just tremendously written. Here's the thing, man. That's the reason where it's like, when it comes to stuff like that from that video, like I don't think they're there yet where it can look that fluid because I think those just people with makeup.
Yeah, those
But
look like
But
real
I've seen
people.
other things what that was imitating, and they haven't given, like, the real AI problem is what you're talking about, where it's going to take away jobs, it's going to take away being creative.
It does write jokes, right?
Yeah, and people are already like using it and doing it as bits on not on like stand up itself, but like, oh, I typed in this topic into AI and this is what it told me. Write bits about my puppy or whatever it is, and then they say the bits AI did. I'm like, don't even do that. Or they'll go like, this is one of the worst things is I'll see videos where it's like Frank Sinatra singing "Baby Got Back," and I'm like, fuck you,
Dude. That's what I was just gonna say. I saw Judy Garland singing for like the "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," that like video from the movie, but it's her singing "All Star" by Smash Mouth.
It's but with that video.
Yeah, it's like, hey now.
It's like done slower, like in her.
Yeah, but it's like her voice.
No, I think that's the real problem where it's like, because here's the thing.
That's like
Right now, it's
illegal.
like it needs somebody to. AI is not doing it itself. It's not going to be like, oh my god, it's taking us over by its under its own volition. It's people typing this shit in and being assholes because they're trying to put shit online. You know what I mean?
and
like,
trying to get followers.
and trying to get followers from
attention.
it. And
yeah.
it really, especially if like, man, oh man, if the influencer thing didn't already fuck up stand up enough, and the video thing didn't fuck up the business enough, this is gonna fuck up every business because nobody's gonna be able to tell. They're just gonna think the same way that like, hey, you say I could sing something. I'd probably do it before the next episode. Sing something to my phone. Use some app that's not auto-tune, just an app that deals with audio, and then it'll sound like me, but with a perfect voice. That's what we're getting to.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It sucks. That's why let's open the bar. Because fuck it, there's no point.
I'm fighting against it. Yeah.
I'm getting it.
At our bar, you know how like at a Dave Chappelle stand-up show, he locks your phones up. That's what we're doing at our bar.
Yeah. You got to be present.
Cash
at the bar.
only too.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, our bar, we should run like the saloon in Deadwood. So there's nothing's digital.
Isn't there tons of murder? Isn't there a lot of shootings in that? Or
Yeah, fuck
it should
yeah,
be like
dude.
the Continental and John Wick.
Ah, no, on Continental Grounds, no riffraff. That's not actually that's not a line from it.
You see riffraff? No, they don't
Yeah.
say riffraff in John Wick.
No riffraff on Continental Grounds.
You see they're doing
That was my Ian McShane.
that was pretty good.
Thanks.
They're doing a show, the Continental. See that?
Get the fuck. Yeah,
It's like
I hate the idea.
WB up a great action movie.
I hate the idea.
It's terrible. No. The idea is good, and you can actually. It's an evergreen idea that could be fantastic as far as like, but you need it to be done like.
He's on HBO.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be hardcore.
You cocksucker.
But here's the thing: it's like everybody's going the AI way. My brother-in-law called me up. He's like, "You gotta get on this AI bandwagon and start doing content about AI." And I'm like, "Hey, man, I just think don't get me wrong. It's like it's interesting. Like I've seen some of the videos people attach to like they'll be talking about something. The video they put below it, good. It's like you're talking about it. We could do your your video game idea. I want to do that with one of the programs.
Yes, great video
so
game idea.
that I kind of get because it's kind of like, hey, that it's within the realm of like what we created. But when you're like full on being like, I sing like shit, but I haven't, or the first AI generated person was like nominated for a Grammy or something crazy like that.
Would that happen?
That happened.
No.
She's like a cartoon character.
Yeah, what
It's
the
like-
fuck are we doing?
It's like the music version of Her, the movie, where it's like, yeah.
I'm all set on that.
So until we give them like, because here's the thing, like if you, that's why I think the video is fake. It's like with the AI, if you're giving it that as much power as the AI has without a body into that, they take over the world. It becomes Terminator because they have their own body. They'll figure out ways to get themselves weapons. You know what I mean? Like the way that body was, and that's why it's not real. I know that. But if it was, it could find itself whatever it wants, a gun, a knife, whatever it was, and then just start on a killing spree.
How much lamer is our Judgment Day than in the actual movie? That it's just going to be a bunch of people making videos of Frank Sinatra singing Soulja Boy songs.
Yeah, that it's not what every movie and TV show did in the past. That it's
just us all losing our jobs to fucking robots.
our rapture is just a flash mob.
Yeah.
It's like twerk to get into heaven. It's just a bunch of nonsense. We're already lame. Humanity is lame at this point, and I think but here's the thing. I don't know if you saw, speaking of UFO stuff, Mexico's Congress, they had their own congressional hearing on UAPs, and these two guys that seemed totally legit unboxed these two tiny aliens that were found in an excavation, like an archaeological dig.
They just
and
popped
they look
in
like
like
tiny ETs, like from the movie. Really? And it's 100% for real.
Wait.
Yeah, it happened
did you
today.
say?
There's a video of it. There's like a little coffin. They unbox it, and they're like these dusty aliens.
You saw this.
I saw it
A
today.
video of it.
Yeah.
Are you being for real?
Yeah, but that's bullshit.
Oh, it's fake.
Yeah, these guys. One of them's a UFO guy. The other one says he's a naval surgeon, but nobody can confirm anything.
He was like, "Hey, fucker, I found this ET." Hey, we were out in the fucking desert, just drinking some cervezas, and then my cousin Hector,
my buddy threw the football into a corner. I'm like, what is that, man?
bro, that looks like fucking ET.
Orale! Check out this little guy.
Fuck that, I'm phoning home.
You know what I was thinking? This is so bad to say.
Oh, great.
But like every other version of an extraterrestrial that you've heard of is like 4 foot to like 7 feet. These were like 2 feet tall. I'm like, of course, in Mexico they have the tinier ETs.
So you think it's definitely fake?
Well, they think they were the earliest version of human that delivered Uber on a scooter. They were still attached to the e-bike in the dig. They're like, and here's his bike. Here's the bodies. And look, and here's a box of Chick-fil-A that they had on them. It's so fucked up. I'm done. I don't care anymore. This is gonna be a clip. But here's the thing. It's like that's, they have all different types of aliens that people supposedly have seen, and there's one called the Nordics, which are like they're basically just Nazis. They're 7 foot tall. They're like Winklevoss twins, but for aliens. There's all different races of aliens, and not just humans. It's the whole. We came across on this article.
We found some aliens.
we found
some illegals.
We came across this on this dig. Yeah, just a bunch of aliens hanging out on a corner with their e-bikes, waiting for a ping.
I don't know how these aliens got a hold of old Raiders jerseys.
Yeah, they have.
These UAPs are lowriders.
That's why they come up on their side when they take off. They full on. They have all sorts of races of aliens. They have the Greys. They have
The lizards.
the lizard people. They say
Yeah.
that they think the lizard people
Did
are
you
in
ever read
charge.
David Icke?
No,
Never got into that?
No.
No, okay.
Why? What is that?
That's some fucking guy people think is a kook. He's written about 16 books about how our government is run by reptilian aliens.
There's a guy who was really a legitimate political figure in Canada. I forget his name, but that came out and said like all these democratic nations have been in contact with a galactic federation of aliens that want to wait to tell humans that aliens have existed. And the fact of the matter is like he's older now. He's like, I'm saying it now because I'm older and you can't stop me anymore. And it's almost like a pre-deathbed confession. There's been tons of these people that multiple people have said the same thing. That's like, hey, there was a deal made during Eisenhower's time that these guys agreed, like, hey, for help with technology, we won't tell them you exist, but then you can take some of our resources, like
Kind
water.
of like the Kubrick deal.
Kubrick, yeah, but there's so much shit about The Shining and the Room 50, whatever it's called, whatever. But a lot of these UFOs are seen like above water. There's one like multiple witness case where they said that one was really high and there was pulling water from the lake and stuff like that. What are you laughing at?
Just still laughing about the other
Mexican
thing.
aliens?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to go, illegal aliens, but like, or it's aliens finding aliens.
That'd be a good show on Netflix. That'd be more of a TLC show.
What, aliens finding aliens?
Yeah.
It's just Mexican dudes finding like people from other planets.
Yeah.
All
Oh
right.
man, that
I
made
think
my
that might
fucking
be
eyes water.
that might be our kind of vamoose. That we're not going to top our
Do you
the
have
alien dig.
I wanted to hear your Is This Weird?
Oh, okay. So here's the thing, and it's going to make me really unlike. If that racist rant didn't make me feel unlikable. So is this weird, Ray? A lot of times I don't have cash for stuff anymore because of how much we use our phones and our cards.
Sure.
So it's one of the instances I'll go on the road a bunch, and in my hotel room, a lot of times I'm too lazy, and I will opt out. Now a lot of hotels you can opt out of the service for the room.
Yeah.
So I just say no, just give me a bunch of towels. I'm good to go. And I'm not in hotel rooms. I'm messy, but I'm not like gonna it's not gonna be destroying the room, whatever it is. But I still feel bad at the end of the weekend where I'm like if I don't have any cash on me, I'm not going down an ATM and getting cash. Because I care, but I don't care that much.
So your anti-Mexican rhetoric just continues.
Just continues, exactly. But so what I do is I tidy up the room to a T. Like, I will clean up the room, not scrubbing down the floors, but I make it look as much as it did like when I came in. By the time I leave, and I'm like, yeah, they don't have to do anything. They switch out the bedding, and they're out of here. But I'll make the bed. I'll put all the towels in the tub or the shower. I'll wipe down the sink as much as I can. I'll make sure the garbage is in one garbage. I will everything's done.
You really do that?
Yeah,
I've been in hotels with you.
that's what I do.
You do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why? Have you seen me not do that?
I don't
Well,
know.
when
I
it's
can't
us
remember
together?
now.
Well, maybe I left your stuff. Did you have a mess that was in the hotel room?
Yeah, well, I do something a little different. I don't flush my pisses or shits.
In hotel rooms?
Yeah.
I've done that, and then when it gets really...
No, I'm just kidding. I flush always.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do it.
When you're by yourself?
Yes.
Oh, you mean at the end of the day, at the end of the stay?
I was just making a joke that I don't flush my pisses or shits and leave them there for the people that come and clean the room.
Yeah, I don't do that. Yeah, of course not.
But did you just say that you don't flush always?
While I'm staying there.
Why?
I might leave it and then come back to have another one and then flush.
A piss. Or an S.
Well, shit, you always flush it. Shit. We're losing our minds.
Okay. Is this weird? I'm right-handed.
This podcast? Yeah.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah.
I'm right-handed. Always masturbate with my left hand.
The stranger.
That's when you
Do you
sit
sit on it?
No,
But it's
no.
still your opposite hand, though.
Yeah, it's on my opposite hand. I'm very right-handed dominant.
Why? Is because you think it makes you less gay?
Dude, I'm not gonna be all good at it with this hand, bro. I'm not gonna be all good at jerking off with my right.
You trying to give your best boy a rest? Is that what?
Just bring him in for to close.
The other guy just gets the lap of luxury. Gets to do nothing. You gotta earn your keep to be on my wrists.
What I'm saying is, if I shake your hand, which I always shake with my right, just know it was only touching my thing for peas.
I wash my hands multiple times a day. Right? I don't know what you're operating with, but
Okay, coming from the guy that doesn't flush pisses in hotel rooms.
I mean, a couple in a row and then you do it. That's normal. That's totally normal. Is it weird with left hand? No, I've heard of that before. It's not weird, but is there a reasoning behind it?
No, it now, like, I'm at the point now where it like feels weird with the other.
Maybe
one.
you're ambidextrous. Because I don't know if I did that, it would. You know what? It is weird because if I did that, it would feel weird doing that.
I also I don't play guitar.
I don't know what's grosser. I'm trying to imagine myself doing it right now. At first, like, you didn't see me, but you were looking forward or looking at the camera, and I full on touched my dick in my left.
I fucking saw, brother. I saw what you was doing.
And I was like, oh, I forgot where I was. Or maybe I didn't. Right?
You know what it is? We haven't seen each other in a while.
Yeah.
And we're just catching up on the podcast, which is a great idea and really a bad idea.
Yeah, because it just gets stupid.
But
so, yeah, it's a little bit weird, but I kind of wish you had like a reasoning behind it.
Uh-huh. It makes me come. That's the reasoning.
Okay.
That's why I jerk off.
Right. Is it better for you than? Have you ever done it with your right hand?
Yeah,
like your whole life?
Probably not since I was 5.
Well, that's
Well,
no.
is that
That's the way. It's not really weird. It's like it actually makes more sense to me because I feel like it really would be partial the stranger if it'd feel like somebody different in a way.
Yeah.
So maybe you're onto something here. Maybe I'll try this out. Try it out tonight. It's like in Seinfeld, people are using a fork and knife for their desserts.
But we're not gonna get to see. Hey, we're just gonna be at a diner and be like, "You jerking off with your opposite hand?" Yeah.
Nobody knows you're doing it. So I'd say, wait, was mine weird with the cleaning up?
I don't think. I think
It's not weird. It's just like,
it's weird, but hey, like, you don't have to do that.
yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, and it's not that messy to begin with. But yeah, but yours is I would say yours is not weird because I think it happens. I think actually a lot of people probably do that and don't admit they do that. Also, when is it going to come up?
So slide into my DMs. Let me know which hand you use. And that's gonna do it for us. I think. Right? Is that a good place to stop?
I think so.
You could find me on all social media. I'm at Zawodni. There is where you'll find clips. You could find
We're doing a show this
our
weekend.
stand-up dates.
Oh, no, next weekend.
Next weekend. We got a couple of shows together. The 24th, it's a Sunday. We're going to be doing POV comedy in Millersville, PA. And then Tuesday, September 26th, we'll be together live. You're headlining New York Comedy Club in Stamford,
Oh, no,
Connecticut.
that's switched. I have to
That
tell
got
you about
switched.
That's how much we're catching up. So you have to
That's
tell
how
you
much I got to tell you about. And we're back. But you could find brand new jerks every single Thursday. New episodes, full video episodes on our YouTube channel. Go out there, subscribe, share with your friends. Clips on our YouTube or YouTube Shorts, our Instagram Reels, and you can find him
at Shawnee Time, and yeah, that's me on Instagram. Yeah, and I will be the shows Ray mentioned, and then this weekend. I'm in Flemington, New Jersey. I forget the name of the place.
I'm in New Jersey this weekend too, somewhere.
Ooh, let's meet up. And then besides that, I have more dates coming. Just check my Instagram. I post them all the time. And then, the New York Comedy Club date got switched to the November 15th. So it's going to be a Thursday now instead. Cool. So please come to that. I will also be in December. I'm going to be in Jersey at the Dojo of Comedy. Ray, if he's around, probably coming there. So we'll let you guys know. Just hit us up on Instagram. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.